Hello, I'm Steven Pilkington with the Path Home team with Real Broker. And we are wrapping up 2023. In fact, we're halfway through the fourth quarter as the time of making this video. And a lot of folks are wondering what happened this year. And it's been such an interesting year. So the number one story this year overall is that the number of transactions is down. Depending on the neighborhood within the Denver metro area, it's down anywhere from 20% to as much as 40% down. That means if last year there was 1,000 homes in a community that sold, this year that might be 800 homes or that might be 600 homes. So the number of transactions that are selling has been down quite a bit. When it comes to price point though, this is really interesting. Overall, the average price has been flat to up, which is crazy. Like a lot of folks are seeing price reductions because every week in the MLS, we're seeing about 20 to 30% of the MLS have a price reduction, but the prices are still up. How could that be? And it comes in two different forms, or three, I should say. Number one is that luxury properties are still doing very, very well. We're seeing more homes sell above $5 million than we've seen in a long time, or really ever. So luxury properties. Number two, new build properties are still doing really, really well. And part of that is that there are incentives that new build companies are giving to get better financing, better fees, better rates, to lock in a better rate to make it a little bit more affordable. And the average new build is more expensive than the average resale property right now. And then third and final, it's the condition of the properties. We're seeing homes that are renovated and are up to today's design standards. That's the important thing, today's design standards. So if you go to a new build and you see what the color scheme is, and we're seeing a lot of white cabinets, we're seeing blue cabinets, we're seeing kind of gray or like dark ash pewter cabinets. We are seeing a lot of gold, but not the old brass. We're seeing that high-end brushed gold. We're seeing a lot of these modern decorative features, even things like this wall right behind me. Those are things and new light fixtures that are causing homes to sell and still sell at a premium. We are seeing homes that are perhaps dated, especially a lot of the homes that are the Tuscan style that were made in the late 90s through early 2000s. Those ones, we're seeing buyers a little more hesitant on those, especially if it's a larger home. We're seeing this happen a lot with the homes that are over 4,000 square feet, where they're priced pretty well, but the buyers are looking at it and they want it to be current style, but to renovate a 4,000 square foot home is pretty expensive. I mean, renovation costs are anywhere from $50 a square feet to $150 a square feet, depending on how high end you're going. And so we are seeing homes that are a little more dated, sitting on the market a little longer, having a little lower price point. And of course, the homes that need extensive renovations, those are definitely dropping. So when it comes to wrapping up the market for 2023, just know that values are still doing well, but buyers really want to see a house that's move-in ready, that's as close to a new build as possible. Otherwise, just know you do have to price it a little bit more value compared to those new builds. When going into 2024, and this is a big question we get a lot, what's going to happen? Well, unfortunately, I don't have a crystal ball, yet based on the experts that I follow and that our team follows, and some of this data is coming from our Place partnership, which is directly connected to Goldman Sachs. So we do get some very fantastic data. We are predicting that interest rates will start declining in July of next year. Coincides with, it is an election year in 2024, and neither party wants homes to be unaffordable for the population in America right now. So we are expecting rates to start coming back a bit by the middle of the year, by that Q3 next year. We are expecting, believe it or not, home values to be relatively flat to anywhere from 3 to 5% up, depending on your neighborhood. Some of this is going to coincide with when the rates drop down. We have a lot of folks that are sitting on the sidelines right now saying, I really want to wait for the rates to come down and then I want to get my property. Just so you know, the second the rates drop down, we're going to see prices of homes just go right back up again because inventory is still so low, which is again going to be one of the big stories for 2024, is that inventory overall, it's not the historic lowest, but we're definitely in that 90th percentile range where 90% of the time in the history of tracking the Denver metro area, we've had more inventory in the market. So if you're interested in buying or selling, it could actually be a really good time right now, depending on your house. For example, one of my clients, we just talked about their property. They haven't gotten a completely renovated property. It's over here in Greenwood Village. We'd be listing this ranch style home for about $1 million. And the next closest property on the market is 1.6 and then 2 million. And then there's ones that are worse down in like the 700,000 range that are not in Greenwood Village. But we're in an area where there's literally no other ranch homes for sale right now. So it's a great opportunity for them. And we're already getting a ton of interest just in our off-market marketing. So back to 2024. We're expecting prices to be flat, maybe go up a bit. We're expecting interest rates to come down a bit. We just heard recently that the Fed rate, they're hoping to get that closer to the 3.5%, 3.75%, which would equate to mortgage rates being back in the mid 5s to low 6s, which is historically average or even below average. So for 2024, just note that it's still a fantastic opportunity to buy real estate. One thing I want to be very clear in pointing out is that real estate as a hard asset typically does very, very well during times of inflation. So a lot of those folks that have been sitting on real estate, your net worth has gone up faster than inflation's gone up. So hope you've gotten some value out of today's little video. If you've got questions about this, please reach out to me. My team and I would be happy to help you in any way that we can and answer any questions you have about real estate now or coming in the future.